Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Syahira binti ZAINI with metric number 059162. Now I would like to explain about definition of Hibah. Hibah is one of the most significant tools in Islamic wealth management. Hibah simply means a gift. It is a gift of movable or immovable property made during the settler's lifetime. Technically, Hibah is defined as the granting of property ownership from one person to another without any compensation, which is iwad, that occurs throughout the life of a Hibah provider. Is made willingly, is not intended to exalt anybody, and is provided by reciting an ijab and kabul or other similar language. In Islam, the practice of donating the hibah is promoted among Muslims, since it advances the notion of Sharia maqasid in terms of wealth protection and relationship development.
Next is laws and propositions of hibah. In terms of law, hibah is a concise and encouraged activity in Islam, particularly among the new family. This custom is founded on the Quran, Sunnah and Ijma. Among the Quranic verse that encourage hibah practice are Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala statements in Surah An-Nisa, verse 4. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wa atun nisaa saduqatihinna nihlah. Fa in tibna lakum an syai'in minhu nafsan fakuluhu hani'am mari'am. Sadaqallahul Azim. Which means, and give the woman upon marriage, which is bridal, give graciously, but if they give up willingly to you, then take it in satisfaction and ease. This verse states that men are required to provide dowry to women, but if the woman wish to donate a portion of the dowry to the man, they can do so with pleasure. Hibah refers to the act of women giving a portion of their dowry to males. Hibah is commonly used in the Takaful sector, as well as other current Islamic financial and banking practices.
Pillars and conditions of Hibah. There are 4 pillars of Hibah, which is settler or wahib, beneficiary of Hibah or mahublah, subject matter or mahub, and also offer and acceptance or sirah. So, the conditions of Hibah for settler or wahib is that a donor's intellect or the wahib intellect, puberty and rules must be all flawless before Hibah to be performed. The subject matter must be owned by the donor. Next, the recipient of the beneficiary of Hibah must accept the property and have the authority to keep it as part of the Hibah system in Islam. So, the subject matter or ownership of the asset must be held by the settler and is transferable and was in place at the time of the Hibah. And lastly, sirah. Sirah is a verbal or non-verbal agreement or behavior that expresses the offer and acceptance of Hibah. The settler said something like, I give this thing to you, or in the form of a hint or kinayah, like I have given the ownership to you, and the beneficiary replied with something like, I have said it. So that's all, thank you.
Next, we will continue to discuss about the groups of people who need hibah. The owners of the property are permissible to use hibah, and it is not a compulsory method. However, this method is really helpful for some people, and if there is no hibah, they might face problems or loss in the future. Actually, there is a lot of groups who need hibah, and I'm going to explain 3 of them. The first group is married couples without children. If you study the system of faraid, if the husband dies, the wife is entitled to receive only a quarter of the property left by the husband. Therefore, if hibah has already been made before the husband dies, the wife could have some savings to pursue her incoming needs. After that, the second group is married couples with only daughters. In faraid, there is asobah, which means relative who will entitle all the balance of the properties after the distribution completed. Due to asobah, there has no female enter. Hibah will help the daughters to gain more properties. The last group, but not least, is mu'allaf, or person who reverted to Islam. Some of them still have non-Muslim family members. They cannot inherit the properties in faraid, so if the mu'allaf wishes to give it to them, hibah can be made.
Next, for issues of hibah in Malaysia, there are different opinions regarding the application of hibah. It can be best understood by looking into some of the issues. The first one is hibah in Takaful is against the nature of hibah. According to Islamic concept of hibah, gifts can be given during the lifetime of an individual. But in family Takaful, the Takaful benefits are given as a gift if the policyholder dies before the maturity. Thus, it goes against the nature of hibah itself. Another point to be noted is that if Takaful benefit is distributed after the death of the participant, it must be done with subject to certain conditions, which are the distribution of estate must not surpass 1/3 of the estate minus the expenses and debts, and the distribution of estate after the death is considered as wasiat and not as hibah.
The second one is the ownership and invasion of farad. Regarding the money in the participant account, when a participant dies, it is part of his estate. However, with regard to the money payable by the Takaful operator taken from the special participant account is still questionable. The reason being the participant does not own the money in this fund. Also, the participant does not own the Takaful benefit during his lifetime, but the ownership of the Takaful benefit is transferred to the donee after the death of the participant. But based on the opinion of the jurist, any property that was not owned by the deceased during his lifetime must be distributed according to the Islamic law of inheritance or faraid. As hibah cannot be implemented after death, some jurists believe it is a tactic to avoid the Islamic law of inheritance and therefore it contradicts the Quran.
Last but not least is no ruling on hibah in the Takaful Act 1984. Currently, there is no ruling mentioned in the Takaful Act 1984 regarding the application of hibah in Takaful. This leads to many problems with regard to practicing hibah. These individuals are parents, husband or wife, children and siblings.